In the same way, the Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us through wordless groans. And He who searches our hearts knows the mind of the Spirit, because the Spirit intercedes for God's people in accordance with the will of God. Romans 8:26-27. My dear friend, in times of weakness and uncertainty, we often find ourselves at a loss for words, unsure of how to pray or what to ask for. Yet, in Romans 8:26-27, the Apostle Paul reveals to us a profound truth that brings great comfort and assurance. The Spirit helps us in our weakness. Paul begins by acknowledging our human frailty. He recognizes that there are moments when we simply do not know what we ought to pray for. It is in these moments of vulnerability and inadequacy that the Spirit steps in to intercede for us. The Spirit, who dwells within us, understands the depths of our hearts and knows our needs better than we do ourselves. What a comforting thought! Even when we cannot find the words to express our deepest longings and desires, the Spirit intercedes for us through wordless groans. These are not mere empty sighs, but the heartfelt prayers of the Spirit on our behalf. The Spirit communicates with God on our behalf, articulating our needs and desires in accordance with the will of God. Furthermore, Paul assures us that God, who searches our hearts, knows the mind of the Spirit. There is perfect harmony between the Spirit's intercession and the will of God. The Spirit intercedes for God's people in accordance with His perfect plan and purpose. This passage reminds us of the intimate relationship we share with the Spirit. The Spirit is not a distant or passive observer, but an active participant in our lives, ever present to help us in our times of need. He understands our weaknesses, our doubts, and our fears, and He comes alongside us to strengthen and uphold us. As we navigate the challenges of life, let us take comfort in the fact that we are not alone. The Spirit walks with us every step of the way, guiding us, comforting us, and interceding for us in our weakness. We can approach the throne of grace with confidence, knowing that the Spirit is advocating for us, even when we cannot find the words to pray. Moreover, this passage reminds us of the sovereignty of God. He is intimately involved in every aspect of our lives, and His purposes will ultimately prevail. We may not always understand His ways, but we can trust that He is working all things together for our good. In conclusion, let us take heart in the comforting presence of the Spirit in our weakness. Let us lean on Him in times of uncertainty, knowing that He intercedes for us according to the will of God. And let us rest in the assurance that God is faithful to His promises and will never leave us nor forsake us. May we be strengthened by the Spirit's presence, emboldened by His intercession, and filled with hope as we journey onward in faith. Amen. Like if you believe in God,